have to say I'm surprised at how much snow is still on the ground, how snowy it still is, even though the temperature is now just around maybe -1, minus and +1, and scheduled to, or what is the word, forecasted to be fairly pleasant temps for the next few days, almost like it's heading into spring, because this is now Monday, February the 7th. Yeah, 2022, Monday, February the 7th, 2022, and it's about about 7:10 a.m. or something. So yeah, doing the trip to the Mothers. Unfortunately missed I missed the original train I wanted to get, because you know that waking up and being up at 6 something, or even, well, really 5 something, to get myself organized, to get out of the house, to get to the train station, to then get out on the train, to get out there. I mean, it's like dark. I mean, now it's lighting up. So.
Now arriving at Scarborough. Arrivé à Scarborough.
So yeah, so missed this. What I was trying to get was a 6:21, which would get me there at 7:08 a.m. because then my sister has to leave a little after that to be at her workplace for 7:30 a.m. But yeah, couldn't get out in time to make that, and then had to actually hustle to catch the 6:51 a.m. that I'm on, at least from Exhibition Station, Go Station. And then yeah, did get a call from my sister, who was like, oh you're running late. So I was like, okay girl, yeah I am, but you know, it's alright, you can leave mom for a bit. I won't be there much longer after you've departed. So yeah, and that's the morning. She's probably in bed. And you know, my mom pretty much can function pretty well on her own at this point, for a few hours anyway. You don't want to leave her for a whole day or a whole night or something, but certainly for a couple of hours. Because when you're there with her for a couple of hours, it's nothing, no movement, no anything. In fact, she run you when you bother her about nothing. She never want food from you. So anyway, yeah. But as I'm on the train, I'm just seeing all this snow still on the ground and thinking, ooh. I mean, I know the snow is on the ground, but out here it just feels like, I mean, as you head into the suburban areas from this city core, it just feels like there's more snow everywhere. I mean, there's snow piled up all over the city, because it just hasn't had a thaw. The temperatures haven't been high enough for a real good thaw, and the snow clearance has not been great. So you see stacks of it all over. But, you know, at least it's kind of cleared in many places. Here, though, it feels like, you know, even the side streets here aren't cleared, you can tell. Snow just sit up on the ground. Now, it's something I might have to do when I go to my mom's, because I think I have to do some shoveling, because I think it's been, yeah, my sister she has a problem shoulder. You know, it's also interesting, everybody's commenting on this now, that, you know, back in the day, when our day, there were all these kids of a certain age who would, you know, come around, and you'd have like arrangements with them to whenever it snowed, they'd come and clear your snow for a fee, right? Or the other thing we used to have was kids would come around. In fact, I remember as a kid also going around when snow fell, big heavy snowfall, you'd go around and you offer to shovel people's yard, sometimes for free. But usually, you know, they give you a little something, or you'd negotiate a little something. But yeah, these days, no such thing. No picnic now. I don't know none of my niece or anything we're going to do any of that right now. You know, they yard on any device. It's an interesting thing, eh? So you have to have it with a formal company, or listen, would I even take one look at smart young, I'm sure there must be some entrepreneurial young teens who have some little businesses doing that, but even that would be a thing, right? But yeah, no, listen, I don't kind of something anymore. So either if your neighbor kindly help you out, or you have to do it yourself, or your place look derelict and snowbound. And I mean, if you not have a car, you know, really have gone away, have to gone away. And really, when the big snowfall that happened at the time and the side streets weren't cleared, you couldn't go away. So there it is. But it's so funny, you know, Monday morning starts and I'm exhausted already. I'm exhausted already, and it's Monday morning before me even open the computer if I start my work. And I'm telling you, this, I think it's also because I made decisions in my life not to have a family, not to have children. So I think not to be in any sort of like planned, intentional caregiver role. And so I think my siblings move with this much more easily. Just like other people in my life who clearly are people who are parental, like wanted children, wanted families, planned them, had them, into them, practiced with them, experienced with them. So there are things that they rock and roll with, even though they too will, oh my God, because their cracks show as well. But they're more practiced. So I find this is like a jolt in my life. And that's, I think, the thing. When you have defined a certain kind of way of living, and then all of a sudden this other piece is now a part of your life, it's like rotted whole. So those people who, for example, inherit their nieces and nephews at times when things happen in their family, or things happen in people's families. I know people who have had siblings who, for example, become addicted, or who have become really ill, or sometimes have passed away, or sometimes have abandoned their families and they've just taken over and just ran with it. So, boy. But yeah, and I think for me too, it's the whole like movement as well. Like this kind of, you have to get up really early, move, go yaso, go deso, you have to pack up yourself and go deso. And then also, my challenge when I'm with my mom is I'm working. Like I literally have to pack up my office, go to my mom, and then while I'm in my office mode, I'm also in caretaking mode. And it's like, oh my fucking God. It's not like I have an arrangement where, yeah, you're taking care of your mom and you're taking care of your mom, and then I might have someone else come in and I go and do my work. Then, you know, you focus on that. And yeah, you have to keep an ear and an eye out, because I know that's what parents do. And clearly now, children of children. So that's the interesting thing when you get older. As a child, you are in caregiving role, right? Just as when you're you become an adult, you become the parental role. Later in life, you become the caregiver role for your parents. So, anyway, just reflecting on why I'm finding this a bit exacting. It's a bit exacting on me. It's a bit exacting. And I think there's something also about the nature of your relationships with your parents. I think with your children, it's a whole different dynamic. You know, you have them under your rule and responsibility and control, and basically you direct and manage and determine the situation.
The next station stop is Guildwood. Guildwood GO station.
Yeah, but I think in this situation it's a bit more murky. I mean, maybe if my mother was, and may get to a point, frankly, where which I know some people have parents where they are at a point where it is like they become the children. My mother's not really at that point. She is almost like a teenager, you know, that point when the teenager is, so she's going there, it's almost, yeah, that's the direction. So at this point, maybe at some point she'll go to child stage, but maybe not, knowing her personality. But right now she's in teenage, rebellious, you know, and have enough faculty and wits about her that I still fear what she wants and how she wants it. And so in that is also the dynamic of the history of the way our relationship was, which wasn't always great, frankly. It was, how would you describe it? You know, we had come to, as they would say, a rapprochement at some point. So, you know, you make peace with where you're there, but really and truly there are cracks. And it continues. So, yeah. So it's an interesting thing. And And I think just like how she was really clear, no matter what, she is there for me, and she has been. There's a way similarly, no matter what, I'm there for her and will be. But you know, it's there's a term that I can't quite put my hand on right now, or a phrase or a way of describing it, where you know we're making it work. There's a détente or something or peace, but really it's prickly. So yeah. So it's a lot. It's a layered experience I'm having here at this time in life, and I think clearly it was a layered one for her too. You know, it's an interesting thing, this thing called life, and this thing called people and humans and relationships, and particularly these ones that are not chosen. You didn't go out and choose this one. You're in it, and you find yourself in it, and
Now arriving at Guildwood.
you know you're just
Arrivé à Guildwood.
make peace with it and make you work as it go on. And it has its moments that are quite wonderful as well. And it has moments where you have to drag out the few little beard, then where you're coming out of here from my head anymore. Well, a little bit. So yeah. I guess this is like my own self-therapy this morning. When you sneeze, in a public, in a COVID era, you're very self-aware and mindful. Well, not that I have this on till here. I'm gonna see if I think that's the lake phenomena, because I don't think it's that cold. But it's actually quite comfortable. In fact, I wore a lighter jacket and I'm quite comfortable. I mean, it's still cold, I mean, yeah, because the phenomenon happens when it's like minus 18, which it was the last few times I came up here. But today it's about, as I said, minus 1 plus 1, maybe minus 4-ish. But even that now feels warm-er. So it almost feels warm. It's kind of, so no frostbite warning. So fingers are fine, even without gloves. I mean, now inside, of course, because it's comfortable here, but even walking outside this morning was comfortable. It was like it would be lovely to have gotten gone for a walk. Kind of weather.
Final call for the doors. Doors are now closing.
So the other day I was running for the train, so I wasn't able to tap my card. I came on, and of course the inspectors came through, gave me a warning ticket, even though I think it was a ticket. But they could have given me a, what they call it, $100 fine, something. So, but then this morning now I ran into the train, even though I run for the train, I'm late for the train, must have less than a minute for jump on the train. They stopped, they tapped me something diligently.
Next station stop, Rouge Hill.
Because apparently based on having had that warning ticket, if I got another, if they caught me again, basically, I would have had to pay even more than the $100 fine and some kind of sanction, isn't it? Some of who doesn't we can't take the go train or what. So of course me digital, they make sure some tap on. Me get on the train, me see the ticket boy to come. So I said, thank God. But of course, they didn't bother coming. Like, I swear to God, they didn't bother coming. So it was one of those kind of Murphy's Law kind of sitting. Or is that Murphy's Law? I never use that term for so long now. Because at this point, the way the world is going, it's like, I mean, are you all watching this convoy thing all over this country? And I am just like, this is the point where I'm thinking, I should still be living in Jamaica. Like, what the hell am I doing here with what the hell might be about to break loose in this country? And the thing is, It's like we're now in a. We thought Trump was down there doing his thing, and now we have a variation of that here. And it's not even about whether it's Trumpian and how it is, but it's about the nature of this idea of how folks can somehow have their voices heard. And so basically says you just take over, you just do whatever and say whatever and jump up against the actual government with your own idea about what that's supposed to mean without any actual engagement with wider society. So they keep saying against the government. No, you're against the agreement and the understanding what we all they work with. So this is where I'm gonna go over to the lakeside so you can see if the lake phenomena is happening. You never know what kind of factor that we have passed by all the time. Yeah, some kind of factory business over there, so it's a little bit there. Yeah, and see, the phenomena is not happening this morning. We're basically, see now it looks like a regular lake with sunrise, almost looking like a sunset. Pretty, eh? Sunrise, sunset.
Now arriving at Rouge Hill. Arrivé à Rouge Hill.
Pretty. All right. There's a train in the station here now. Going to the city to work, and then me come out, you know, in LA bush. And then after leave gone, and then me to come. Is it gonna let me off? Sometimes you wonder, you know. Oh, not the only one this morning. There you go. Much brighter than. Say now, boy, look. And brother, man.